What he
All right,
does is he
we're
is
going to call the meeting of the
vice president
Finance Committee
do
to
it.
order on December 18th, 2019. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Michael O'Brien is present. Alderman at-large Brandon Michael Laws, absent. Alderwoman at-large Shoshana Kelly is absent. Alderman June Karen. Here. Alderman at Linda Gathright. Present. Alderman Patricia Clee. Here. Our Chair, Mayor James Donchis.
I'm here.
Also in attendance is John Griffin, CFO Controller, Dan Coogan, Purchasing Manager.
And Alderman Laws contacted us to say that he is out of town, and Alderwoman Kelly to say that she's under the weather and not feeling well. Is there any public comment? Any member of the public wish to speak to the committee? Communications. Alderman O'Brien.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. From Sarah Marshall, Community Development Director. Reason, contract for engineering services for the Heritage Rail Trail East. Mr. Mayor, I would like to make a motion to accept, place on file, and authorize change order amendment number 1 to CMA Engineers for the unanticipated survey needs for the National Heritage Rail Trail East project in the amount of $9,196.
And Ms. Marchant is here, so I expect she's going to come up and explain this contract to us, even though we do have the memo.
Good evening. Thank you very much. This is a less than $10,000. It's actually just a communications memo to you. But it was a change in survey for the project. Unfortunately, in an urban environment with 115 abutting properties, there certainly can be quite a bit of extra research that was found that needed to be done with the project, but we are moving forward, and that's the change.
Okay. And the motion was to accept, place on file?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Any discussion on the proposed or on the change? All those in favor of the motion to accept and place on file, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much. Alderman O'Brien.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. From Dan Coogan, Purchasing Manager, contract for the City of Nashua, New Hampshire Police Facility Study, a value of $45,000, Department 150 Police Fund, NPD Capital Project. Mr. Mayor, I would like to make a motion to accept, place on file, and award the contract to the City of Nashua, New Hampshire Police Facility Studies to LaValle Bressinger Architects, LBA, in the amount of $45,000. Funds are available in Department 150 Police Fund and NPD Capital Projects.
And Lieutenant, you're here on this, I think. Could you just address how this, how are we doing on the HVAC project? You know,
Right.
and the windows and all that. Hopefully that's coming along well. And how does this, if it does, relate to that?
Absolutely. Good evening. I'm Carlos Camacho, Lieutenant with the National Police Department. So just to answer those questions, the HVAC project it's still a go. It's still going to go on as planned. The window project is completed. All the windows have been installed. They've been there was no issues with that. They're all up and running. It looks great. Definitely made a big difference.
No more snow coming in?
No more snow. No more snow coming in, which is a good thing. And so, based on those two projects, we decided that we need a space needs assessment for the building itself. So the National Police Department was built in 1979. The building addition was finished in 99. And since the last major renovation in 99, laws has changed in public safety buildings, and the department has outgrown its initial building dimensions. An architectural firm must be contracted to conduct a space programming and future space needs assessment. So based on this needs assessment, we will obtain data about our space needs in the original building, which was built in 79. A major item of concern is retrofitting our detention area from a steel bar detention facility, which was prominent during the time the police department was built, to a wall detention facility secured by clear doors, which is what the standard is today. Modern-day detention facilities have moved to a softer approach to cells. They are now constructed with walls and windows and doors for security purposes. These cells prevent defendants from self-injury due to the metal bars. They also prevent injury of exposure to officers or employees due to the secure nature of the sealed cell. Having new cells is a more secure and humane way of holding defendants, which also minimizes the potential of lawsuits. The latest major renovation, completed in 1999, was constructed with the future of Nashville Police Department in mind. The project projected the growth of the department and built into the renovation the possibility of expanding vertically in the future. MPD's future is now, and the time has come to explore the option of vertical growth of 1 or 2 floors to the renovated building. This assessment will review the 1999 structural construction documents to confirm that this addition can accommodate an additional level. They will prepare a space plan, level test fit study exploring the expansion of the building vertically and/or horizontally to accommodate future space needs. They will prepare conceptual budget projecting the potential cost of the proposed additions or renovations, along with a final report of the findings and a PowerPoint presentation the department can utilize to present the project to city stakeholders. They will also attend the city meetings to present their findings. And that's something that will probably happen 5 to 10 years down the road. We're just starting to plan ahead. The other data,
The source of funds is what?
This is a capital project. This is for our building project
Yes, but the study would be paid for, is going.
out of that account.
so then the last thing that they wanted to do with this study is to relocate our existing crime lab and the forensic criminal lab as well. So the laboratories that we have now have outgrown their space, and they need to expand with all the new technology and the work that they've been doing. So basically, the study itself, after it is completed, will give us the chance to kind of see where the building is and if going vertical is even a possibility. The new HVAC system is coming in here in the near future, this coming year. And if we start planning, if we want to go vertically and we start planning this process now, we can actually build the HVAC system to support this future growth of the PD vertically in the years to come. So that way, in 5 years, 10 years, when we do expand vertically and go up, we don't have to take away the current HVAC system that was recently installed. So we're trying to plan for the future, and the priority of this project is to kind of see the space needs for our detention facility and the forensic crime lab. That would be one of the first projects we do. The vertical expansion will happen 5 to 10 years from now.
And do you have a completion date on the HVAC, an estimated completion at this point?
It's going to start in the summer. I believe they're going to start coming in the summer, so hopefully before 2021. That's what I'm guessing on that right now, but I know they're going to start in the summer. You know, if everything goes as planned, it's a big project. And by that time, hopefully with this study, we'll be able to tell the HVAC company that's putting the system, hey, make sure you guys leave room for the future to kind of expand the HVAC system if need be.
Discussion, questions? Alderwoman Karen.
Yeah, thank you. I'm happy to hear that you're looking at the expansion 5 and 10 years down the road and these changes that you're making now that can accommodate that. So kudos to you for doing that. And we have the funds, as the mayor asked, in your capital projects.
Karen Smith, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or discussion? All right, the motion by Alderman O'Brien. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the motion passes. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Alderman O'Brien.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. From Dan Coogan, Purchasing Manager, extension of Exit Power Services, Inc., Jackson Mills and Mine Falls Operations and Maintenance Agreement, a value of $404,605 plus revenue sharing, Department Number 170, Hydroelectric Operations Fund, General. Mr. Mayor, I would like to make the motion to accept, place on file, and authorize the extension of the contract for the Jackson Mills and Mine Falls operations and maintenance with Essex Power Services in the amount of $404,605 plus revenue sharing. Funds are available in Department Number 170, Hydroelectric Operations Fund, General.
And I think, again, Ms. Marchand is here to answer any, I assume you're here on this?
Good evening, Sarah Marchant. here to talk to you about the Essex contract. So Essex is our operator for the 2 hydroelectric facilities in the city. We entered into contract originally 3 years ago after going out for an RFP. We had 6 responses. We vetted them pretty extensively and were able to also negotiate costs down at that time based on all the responses. We feel that Essex has served the city very well. The original contract was designed with this 3-year extension in mind, knowing that we were starting relicensing, which we have started underway. We also have several major projects going on at the facilities that are currently underway, and so we would very much like to exercise the contract extension. There are no changes to the contract except for minor increases in labor rates, which makes sense in this market. And so both dams bring in a little over, total of a little over $1 million, 1.2 in revenue. And so this is certainly a good deal for the city in the long run.
Questions, discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Alderman O'Brien.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. From Dan Coogan, Purchasing Manager, reason Motorola maintenance contracts, a value of $233,158. Department number 157, Citywide Communications Fund, General. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to accept, place on file, and award a contract for Motorola maintenance to Motorola Solutions, Inc. in the amount of $233,158. Funds are available in Department number 157, Citywide Communications Fund, General.
And I think Mr. Mansfield is here on the communications.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So basically, there's 2 different contracts here. One is for our system upgrade agreement, SUA 2. That's the most expensive one. So once a year, we pay Motorola a fee, and every 2 years we get our system upgraded. We had our first upgrade this year. In that upgrade, we found that Windows 7 was going away, which basically we had to replace massive amounts of equipment, let's just say that. All the servers were replaced, all the dispatch consoles were replaced at police and fire. Software was basically upgraded in every piece of equipment that we had. Switches were replaced, routers were replaced. They flew in 2 gentlemen for 2 weeks to do this. They also had 3 other gentlemen from Motorola coming in and doing all the hardware transition as well. The whole process took approximately 2.5 weeks to go through. Right now, we are up to, we were at 715, now we're at 717. And Motorola is currently,
717.
I'm sorry?
You were at 715.
715 is a version of the radio system. Now we're at 717. The next step would be 719. So this payment would be the first payment of 2 payments to get that upgrade in 2 years from now to the most current software and possibly hardware again features that are out there. So that's the main piece of the contract. The other parts of the contract are what we have been doing for years. Security upgrade services. Every week, Motorola dials into our system and upgrades every Windows product that they have or that is in our system with the latest and greatest of security updates in the system. Again, it's just to keep the system safe and secure. Astro technical support. That support is basically, so when I'm doing troubleshooting on the system itself, if I need their technical assistance, I call them, and they can dial into the system and help me determine what the issue is and point me in a direction that I need to go in to have that item fixed. And then we have preventive maintenance, and basically what they do is they go to all the sites here within the city, all the radio sites, tune all the equipment, and make sure that everything is running to specification. So they do that once a year.
And when you mentioned, I think, that the Motorola, the Windows 7 version was discarded. What came in its stead?
So they have Windows 10 on all the Windows products right now.
Discussion, questions? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, everyone.
Very much. Alderman O'Brien.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. From Dan Coogan, Purchasing Manager. Reason, Aldermatic Chamber renovations, a value of $134,900. Department number 129, City Buildings, Fund Escrow,
Yeah.
$40,000, and Building Fund, $94,900. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to accept, place on file, and award a contract for Aldermatic Chamber renovations to D.L. King and Associates in the amount of $134,900. Funds are available in Department number 129, City Buildings. Fund escrow, $40,000, and Building Fund, $94,900.
Discussion? Alderwoman Harriet Gathright.
What we haven't done?
Ms. Kleiner, I think, can discuss this.
Good evening, Kim Kleiner, Director of Administrative Services. So we brought it to you quite quickly. Legal and risk are still reviewing the contract, but it's time sensitive. So we want to be able to have you back in the chamber in time for the budget meetings. In order to do so, we will need to have the drawings approved by the end of the month or the beginning of 2020 in order for them to start assembling the furniture and working on the furniture, which they will complete a lot of the work off-site. They will start renovations to the actual chamber around the beginning of February, around February 1st, in the hopes to have the chamber completed by March 16th.
And can you describe, the overall project?
Sure. So all the desks will all be replaced. The benches in the gallery will be replaced. There'll be painting, there'll be carpeting. There will be a separate RFP that'll be issued for technology upgrades because that's going to be handled from the CTAP funding. What else? Dan, what am I forgetting? The railing, yes. So you'll have a center entrance and two entrances on each side. Originally, the thought was to reshape the desks, but now it is thought that really this setup makes the most sense. So we'll continue to have the horseshoe this way. But all the desks will be new oak furnishings. They will be connected in the front or appear connected, but they will be individual desks in back.
Thank you.
Questions? Alderwoman Karen.
Oh, I think this is great. It's a long time coming, and I'm glad to hear we're going to have the IT, communications, and lighting as part of this project. Because I think this was when Mayor Davidson was here, was the last time this was really upgraded. So it's a long time coming, and I think I've seen the carpeting and the paint, the paint is going to be the same, but the carpeting and stuff is going to change. But I think this is great. I think it's well overdue, especially the IT part. So thank you.
From what I understand, these need to
Yes.
Go away.
go away.
So don't these.
Alderwoman Clee.
Yes, and I appreciate it being done also. I don't wear light-colored clothes anymore because I've gone home more than once with green sleeves from that. So I'm always asking them to clean these desks and, because we get green sleeves and, and if any dampness from something that you have here or something like that. So but I am appreciative of the IT and letting these go away because I know when we're across, if someone has it just right, it's like blinding you. So it's, yeah, it would be nice to see these gone. And I know Steve, a couple times has said he's gonna have to wear sunglasses in here. Yeah, it just at the right angle, it just glares at the other people, so.
Any other questions or discussion? Alderman O'Brien.
Thank you. To Ms. Kleiner, I just have somebody at home looking at the desks. They really, probably on TV, don't look that bad, but they're metal, and they're ancient, and they're well short-worn from many automatic boards sitting here. How old are they? Date back to the opening of City Hall, probably in the 30s? I mean, so the taxpayers know that it's a dire need to upgrade the facility.
So I have asked, and apparently the last chamber renovation was a number of years ago, and I asked City Clerk Lovering exactly when, and we couldn't nail down the exact date, but it's many boards ago, many. What the problem with some of these is, and to Alderwoman Clee's point, you can't clean these. So we have a very hard time doing any upgrades to these. When there was a problem with the lighting, the only answer was to have these type. What we'd like to see is a lighting that's more universal underneath. That will eliminate any little fire problems that we had not too long ago. One evening when they short-circuited, the furniture has really reached its useful life. And I think anybody that would come in and actually viewed them during the day would see that they're really not practical any longer.
Alderwoman Clee.
I just have one more question. Will these chairs be removed? Because every now and then I sit there and all of a sudden I'm the ever-sinking alderman.
No, so we realize, and that happens a lot. So with these type of chairs, the mechanisms wear out and they start to fall.
I've got it completely locked today because I was sitting on the floor earlier.
Yeah, so these type of this type of furniture is meant to be replaced in normal cycles. So we see the chairs as being part of the project, but we'll do it separately from this renovation contract with D.L. King.
Thank you.
Alderwoman Harriet Gathright.
Just wondering, I don't know if it's true or not, but someone had told me that these desks, that they come from Manchester or one of the other towns. They were not new to us. They were used.
I did hear that, although I did not confirm it,
Just
but I
wondered.
did hear that.
So I'm happy that we're getting new stuff. Truly happy.
Must have made.
Yes.
Anyone else? Okay, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much. Now, we do have a non-public session further on down, but before we get there, there is no unfinished business. New business resolutions, we have none. Is there a motion on the record of expenditures?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I would like to make a motion that the Finance Committee has complied with the city charter and ordinances pertaining to the record of expenditures for the period from November 29, 2019 to December 12, 2019.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. General discussion. Are there any general discussion items? Public comment? I don't see anyone who wants to speak. Are there any remarks by Alderman? Not. Alderman O'Brien?
Mr. Mayor, I have a motion to enter into a non-public session pursuant to RSA 91-A, semicolon 3, parentheses E. Consideration or negotiation of pending claims or litigation which has been threatened in writing or filed or against the public body or any subdivision thereof, or by or against any member thereof because of his or her membership in such a public body, until the claim or litigation has been fully educated or otherwise settled. Any application filed for tax abatement pursuant to law with any body or board shall not constitute a threatened or filed litigation against any public body for the purpose of this subparagraph. And, Mr. Mayor, I ask for a roll call.
You heard the motion. Could the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman O'Brien votes yea. Alderman Karen.
Yes.
Alderman Clay.
Yes.
Alderman Harriet Gathright.
Yes.
Mayor Donches.
Yes.
We have 5 yeas, 0 nays.
And therefore, we will go into non-public session.
Mr.